every semester we hold this event, well, like that's behind me, called the STEM Expo. This is where our students have a chance to present the work that they've been working on throughout the semester. It's mostly in classes, but also in clubs, or if they've been doing something outside, like any activities, like research experiences and things like that, they can present it here. This event is actually both virtually and in person. In person is what's going on behind us right now. We also have a website where students post videos of their work. And so anybody at any time throughout this week can go check out what they do and comment in its YouTube. So they put comments and students respond to them. So we've been doing this for about 10 years. It kind of started because our students, a lot of the stuff that we do in our classes in STEM especially, and throughout the college actually, is happening. We do a lot of project-based activities, and so providing venue for students to present those activities when they're just presenting to us or the classmates, it's kind of like doing this with their own parents, right? So giving a venue for folks to come externally through the college and actually external visitors and give them feedback is a really awesome opportunity to practice their communication skills. I think for the students, actually, this event is a lot of it drives them to complete things. They are usually, when we went to pandemic, this is when the virtual STEM Expo started. Students actually reached out to us and said, what do you mean we're not going to have a STEM Expo? Because it was all live at the time. And so we now hold both virtual for students who are not able to be here during that time. So I think for the students, they actually enjoy the event.
All right, I am Will Keenan.
Hi, I'm Lucas Chen.
I'm Ben Morin, and this is the Batman bomb detector. How it works is it uses an ultrasonic sensor to see, and if there was something in front of it, the light would go off, and you would hear a buzz or like beep, and it would look either way, and see which way is a better way to go, and see which has less obstructions. And in later iterations, we would make sure that it had some sort of radar device that can see bombs so that it can pick them up and dispose of them properly. So this would be deployed into some sort of war zone where where landmines can harm unsuspecting civilians. And we took inspiration from Batman, just the tumbler from one of the movies, because it had a plated armor design, which looked really cool, and B, looked like it would do the best job protecting from bomb blasts.
How we came up with our idea, I don't know if you can see, but we actually had slides here. We went through multiple researching days to end up with this. So we first started with just an armored car, and we went through multiple days of research with this, and then we figured out what else we want to do with the armored car, because the armored car is cool and all, but how are we actually going to use that in real life? So we then went with a bomb exploder, which would be something that could find bombs and then explode them away from people. So then, and with the armored wall, it keeps it safe. But that wouldn't be the best idea, because also diffusing bombs or letting bombs go could be really dangerous. So we went with the bomb diffuser, which could then take a bomb and defuse it, which would save the place. Yeah.
Some of the skills we learned throughout this project are things like coding, the wiring, and the modeling, especially 3D modeling to design the chassis, and teamwork. It's very important. We had to work as a team to get this entire project done. It was very helpful. This STEM Expo was very helpful, and it gave us a project to work towards. Thank you.
Yeah, so my project is on how multivariable calculus is useful to create surfaces and how it's applicable in real-life applications. So I have some mathematical examples here with different equations, and then these two on the bottom are different applications in real life. So this one on the right here is a airfoil, like on a airplane for the wings, or like on a car for any sort of aerodynamics, or trains, planes, any of the above. And then this one is a 3D graph of a mountain, and then it has level curves of where goats would be able to live. So it has like the goat elevation range there on the right, and how it can be used for wildlife researchers.
Okay, so what I have for my project is a robot that was inspired from one of my favorite video games, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and the idea just come up to my head, thinking, hey, why not bring the robot from Sonic 3 to a reality? So then I gathered up the right materials for my robot, and I used Arduino to control the chassis, and as well as making cardboard boxes for the body, and I made the claws out of cardboard as well, and the tail, and for the stinger I use a ping pong ball and so that it can imitate the actual Badnik from the Sonic the Hedgehog video game. So the whole concept of this is that whenever the ultrasonic sensor detects someone, the robot, it moves back, and it, as well as with the tail, it reverses back, and when it moves forward, it releases the tail. However, unlike Dr. Eggman, I use an Arduino. Eggman, he uses animals. Yes. Luckily, I'm not a creep like him.
My name is Talia.
I'm Lula.
I'm Rashika.
So this is a Choco cheese truck. So there's one sweet side, one salty side. And we made it so that it can appeal to the most amount of people possible. And then these little pieces actually come out so that you can switch the theme around.
The first idea we thought of was a food truck because we kind of took inspiration from other projects, but we weren't sure what kind of foods to sell. So we kind of just agreed on what would sell the most. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are our first prototypes. This one is our very first. We built it with cardboard, and then this one we built out of corrugated plastic. So there's LEDs and a piezo buzzer, so it can play a jingle like a ice cream truck would. And then there's also, I don't know if it's here right now, but we have an ultrasonic sensor so that it can, because it's a self-driving truck, so it can detect where it needs to park, and it can also detect the amount of people around it to tell where it's going to get the most people to come up to it.
Yeah, so this is for our engineering design with CAD class, and what we designed is a combustor. And so it takes inspiration from turbojet design, and we're applying it to a turbocharged car. So the goal of the project is for this combustor to create a sustained flame, and so we have constant airflow spinning the turbine on a turbocharger. And the goal of that is to let the turbocharger have peak efficiency and constantly add as much fuel as possible to a combustion engine. So in short terms, it's making a car go faster, and there's no latency on the turbocharger that's increasing the power that the car has. This physical model that we have here, Brandon had, I would say, all the part in making it, made it come to life. Want to talk a little bit about the physical model?
So the basics of this is that we have the fuel inlet here, and we have the fresh air coming in here, and the spark plug right there. We have it all running off of a oil burning furnace, which is actually on the ground. You can't see it, but the fresh air comes in here, and it spools around the combustion chamber. And there's two parts to this. We have the liner and the casing. The liner lets the air stay cool, not burn, not melt the entire thing into pieces. So there's different zones to it. As the air flows around it, we have the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary. And the primary air is very lean, and then the secondary actually very rich, and then it leans out going through. That way it has a stable combustion, the constant flame. Right here, this is what the flame would look like. Nice blue flame with the highest energy possible.
That way we can spool the turbo as fast and as efficiently as possible. Because without that, you won't have the turbo spooling. And this is it with it fully functioning all by itself. Just fuel. You see it gets red hot right there, but the combustion chamber itself is nice and cool because of the air mixture.
Yeah, so it was a CAD class, and we learned these CAD skills and applied them as we did the project. Learned how to compile all sorts of documents that in an engineering setting would be used as legal documents, used to communicate with the team. But a lot of what we worked on was just teamwork, learning how to share our designs with one another, communicating what dimensions we're using, and as we had several iterations of the project, just making sure everyone was on the same page as far as where one part is and making sure that all the parts are fitting together, making sure we're explaining that in documents, putting it in writing, and also being able to present it here today in person.
We actually plan on putting this in a car. That's a future project though. That's basically it.
My friends, a lot of them struggle with mental illnesses and simultaneously enjoy marijuana in their free time. They saw that their recreational use was genuinely helping them. They reached out to their doctors, providers, psychiatrists, therapists, and they were put on plans with genuine weed medical cards, and now they're thriving because of marijuana.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about the equipment you have?
This is my visual part of my project. I start off by explaining what marijuana is, why it matters currently in our society. I switch over here to the benefits and the differences between CBD and THC. I'm legally required to have the risks. I can't only promote the positives. Marijuana does sometimes have side effects, but it varies from person to person, what's in your body, how severe your mental illness is. And at the end, I have a connection to my biology course and why this is relevant, why it matters right now. And probably the most important thing that I learned is how to translate a research paper and a scientific journal into a language that I will be able to understand and explain to other people.
That's awesome.
I'm hoping to educate people as much as I can and really try to integrate marijuana more and more and more into healthcare across all fields.